Okay, now this question, it says calculate the derivative of y with respect to t at p. That's what this is all saying right here. So at the point right here of the curve. So we're essentially doing exactly what we did right before this. We're finding the slope at a point. That's what we're going to do here. Now this was tricky because we have the y multiplying to the cosine, so that means we're going to have the product rule right here. And then look, there's stuff inside of there, so that means we got the chain rule for the trig function part right here. So let's do it to it. So I'm going to take the derivative with respect to t of both sides. Now I know I'm supposed to take the derivative with respect to t because that is the independent variable that they're giving me right here. I mean, I just have to assume that. I guess they don't really tell me right here. Oh yeah, they tell me right here. Okay, cool. All right. So let's do the product rule first. First thing you're gonna do is gonna go derivative of y. The derivative of y is 1, and they have to multiply it by dy over dt. And we have to multiply that times the other function that it's multiplying to. So we have cosine of y plus t. Oh man, my pluses look like t's. Let me fix that. Plus t squared. Then we're going to have to add the derivative of the second one times the first. So I'm going to write the first down first so I don't forget it. Now take the derivative of this. Chain rule time. Take the derivative of cosine, which is negative sine. And I'm going to have y plus t squared inside of that. And that's going to multiply times the derivative of this inside part. Ooh. What is the derivative of y? It's going to be 1 times dy over dt. Then we have the derivative of t, which is just 1. And then we have to have the derivative of this one, which is 2t. Equals, and now we have the derivative of t, which is 3t squared. Okay, now before, we simplified it all the way. We solved for dy over dt. This would be really hard to do that for. So, don't do it. Just plug in the point. Find the answer. Almost forgot this. Maybe. Okay, so now what we have to do is plug in this point right here. Okay, so all the t's are 0 and all the y's are 5 pi over 2. So let's rewrite it all. We have dy over dt times cosine of, okay, what do we get inside here? If this is 0 and this is 0, right? And so I just have cosine of 5 pi over 2. I'm going to add to that the y. What is y again? 5 pi over 2. And that's multiplying to, let's do parentheses here. It's multiplying to, what do we get right here? Well, this is 0 and this is 0, right? So we just have negative sine 5 pi over 2. And this is multiplying to, we should probably put parentheses around that. Ew, just too many parentheses. It's multiplying to, yeah, we gotta have parentheses there. We'll just do that. That's multiplying to this right here. That's gonna be 0. So I just have dy over dt plus 1. And on the other side we have 0. Okay, so first let's look at cosine of 5 pi over 2 and simplify that guy. If you guys can recall all your trigonometry, if I go all the way around, that would be 2 pi. But this has a denominator of 2, so let's change 2 pi to have a denominator of 2. What is that going to be? It's going to be, let's see, that's the 1, so it's going to be 4 pi over 2. So that's 4 pi over 2, but we need one more half to get up to 5 pi over 2. If I go one more half, if I add another pi over 2, that would be 5 pi over 2, right? So 5 pi over 2 takes me around the unit circle once, and then another half of a pi. Okay, so what is cosine? What does cosine equal at this point right here? That equals 0. So this is 0. Yay, this cancels out. Alright, that's cool. Now we have 5 pi over 2. And that's multiplying times. What is this going to give you?
Negative 1.
Yeah, that's going to give you 1. Then you have the negative, so it'll be negative 1. You're right. And what's this one going to give you? Oh, yeah, nothing. Okay, so we just have times dy over dt plus 1. So let me simplify this a little more. We have negative 5 pi over 2 times dy over dt plus 1 equals 0. So how am I going to solve for dy over dt? We have to distribute this first. So we have negative 5 pi over 2 times dy over dt plus negative 5 pi over 2 equals 0. Doing good. And then I have, here, let's just move this to the other side right now. So I have 5 pi over 2 right here. Multiply both sides or divide both sides by this guy, so we get dy over dt alone. Dy over dt equals negative 1.
Why'd you do it the hard way, Mr. Patey?
Or, as my lovely students pointed out, you can divide this by 5 pi over 2 right here to cancel that out, and this divided by 5 pi over 2 would just be 0. So you have dy over dt equals negative 1 because you would subtract both sides by 1. Okay, it's the same answer. I'm sorry, I just didn't see that. My screen was zoomed in. I didn't see it. Your face is embarrassing.